Alrighty guys, Cory here with CCDG here on the round 2 chase card, and if that's a face you recognize in that second picture, Mr. Kevin Jones is sitting right next to me, joining me for commentary. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm really good, Cory. Happy to be here on my first debut as a commentator.
Cool. Well, what a track to be commentating on. I know this is your first year coming out to the complex, but let's get it started on hole 1, par 4, 660 feet. Genuinely one of the coolest starting holes that I think we've played on tour this year. How do you feel about it?
I think it's probably one of my favorite holes actually on the course. It takes a really straight, long drive off the tee. Some people are going fairway driver. Others go distance driver. There's two options. Basically, you can go straight forward off the tee to the right gap, or you can take this lefty gap that Zach's taken.
Yeah, sided off a little bit tighter than we saw him throw yesterday. He really put it all the way out that left side, drew it back to that perfect landing zone. Here you are. Ideally, with the righty backhand, you're looking to throw on that right side of those first set of trees and let it drift back to the left. Right in that corner is the perfect landing zone.
Exactly.
Going earbuds in. A new development in your game?
Yeah, it's something I started about 2 weeks ago, right before USDGC, and I'm really liking the results that I'm seeing from it.
I'm really liking the result I just saw in that shot. Dude.
Yeah.
That was perfect. That's the ideal landing zone. Here he is, the world champ himself, trying to flash his rings all over this course, Gregg Barsby.
Yeah, I really like this play. The flick kind of brings it to a shorter landing area, but it gives you an opportunity at birdie. They're going to be looking down either a hyzer gap or a sidearm gap.
Yep. And MJ, we had him on our round 1 coverage. Never, ever, ever complain about seeing MJ in the woods. That's just like a rule of life. He's going to saw that crank over a little bit to the left, kind of find that shrubbery. Here Zach is from his kind of shorter than ideal drive. Ooh, backhand roller. I believe that's that burst havoc.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to see a lot of these plays out here in the woods when you get out of position just slightly.
Yep. I like my forehand and backhand roller count like doubled on the year just out playing in the 6 rounds out here.
I believe it.
Greg with the... This is a salty veteran play if I've ever seen it. Patent pending, standstill, backhand roller.
That is a veteran play, and that was really close to flipping up and parking the hole.
Yep, 1 degree over of turn, and that's fine. Oh gosh, MJ with the flex sidearm.
Yeah.
Things are not as planned if he's throwing that shot.
Very true, but it was smooth and right to the middle of the fairway. I'm looking down this hyzer gap here.
Yeah, I like it. You go with the overstable putt and approach here. I think a lot of guys are going, honestly, they're going like fairway driver, if not stable mid-range right there, just to, maybe not stable, but they need the glide. But something a little bit farther than the putter. You seem to have real good command of that putter. MJ going with like the trick shot and 1 mixtape disc golf gap. I like that.
Yep, classic MJ right there.
Good bid.
Yep.
It's a tough hole to get it started on. I mean, it is not an easy birdie.
No, it takes a really good tee shot followed by a great approach to have a putt on the hole.
Or a drop in your case, which is nice. Michael.
Yeah, that was a really surprising miss. It was just off the center. But he's still happy-go-lucky.
I know, isn't it great? It's like, well, you can't hit all 18 of them.
Right.
I love the guy. Zach hitting his comebacker. That's a testy putt, kind of that 25-foot comeback for par after, a few good shots and then a bid. You definitely don't want to miss those.
Yeah, first hole of the day on top of that.
Yes. Yeah, the drop-in putt, always preferred on hole 1.
Yep, that's a great start.
So 1 down for you, 1 over for MJ on the round. That is going to separate these scores a bit. Came in pretty tight. Everyone in that first round really cluttered around that 8 down, 7 down, 6 down, like everybody real tightly packed. Hole 2, though, par 3, 390 feet. I would say genuinely one of the easier holes out here to birdie. Not an easy hole, though. It's that gentle right to left that whole way, but you want to throw something like hard and flat off to that right side that's going to push before breaking left.
Exactly. The hole makes you think it's a hyzer shot, but really it's more of a straight shot with a late left finish, and that's coming in early.
It's all coming together now. I thought you sawed that one off a little bit. Okay. Good tree. Zach going lefty flick, going with the slightly more stable version of the disc he threw yesterday. An enforcer still, but this one's flatter and and just has a little bit more meat on its bones.
Yeah, that was picture perfect from Zach. A flat angle out of his hand, pushing straight and finishing left late.
Gregg lining up, I believe, an eagle, if I know Mr. Barsby.
That would be a good guess.
Oh, that's perfect. That's in Macbeth land. That's where he threw it yesterday. It's the absolute ideal shot. And MJ going crank again. Just not quite cranking it enough.
Little slow start for MJ, but I guarantee you he's going to find his groove here in these woods soon.
Yeah, this is the miss that you typically see on this hole. This is just like the two. Ooh, man, give it a chance.
Definitely.
Just a little bit too soft of a backhand is going to put you over in that 50-footer range. There we go. The Brinster of the future putt. I like that.
Squat putt, as some people may call. I like that.
I like it too. I like so you have finger tape on one of the fingers. What's that? What's the deal there?
Well, I actually have a wart on that finger, and when I start playing a lot, the wart will like kind of dry up and get cuts in it, and so I keep the tape on. It's actually bowler's tape. It works better than anything I've ever used.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bowler's tape. You heard it here first. As these guys just clean up their birdies, and MJ with the par. Kevin, 2 down through 2. You're feeling it. Are those 2 birdies you're anticipating getting going into the round, or are you just like feeling stoked because you just got 2 good ones?
I would have been happy with getting one of them.
Yeah.
They're not that easy of birdies.
Definitely some of the more easier holes on the course, though, especially relative to holes like this. Par 4, hole 3, 726 feet. I know that this is your first year at this facility, so maybe a good perspective relative to Matt Dollars, whom we had on our round 1 coverage. Is this hole speaking to you? Is it not speaking to you? How do you feel?
I think it's a really unique hole, as in there is not much of a designated fairway, but there's so many scramble opportunities in this hole that it kind of makes it somewhat fun. So my play here is to throw as far as I can, pushing straight forward as far as I can, and just make that upshot as short as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. There's not so much of a defined fairway, but it's almost like you're trailblazing through like just brand new territory. It is kind of that fun like exploration of it all. Just throw it, see where you are, react from there.
Yeah, a lot of creativity involved.
Gregg hammering over. I don't even know what this, like a champ boss or something? I was trying to figure it out.
My guess would be a champ boss.
He has none of his discs are stock stamped. It's so frustrating, dude. It's so frustrating.
Stock stamps are boring. I like that.
Oh no, I agree. Trust me, I'm totally on board. But as someone who's trying to figure out what he's throwing,
Right?
a proto stamp does mean nothing. MJ getting himself over into what could be the ideal landing zone. It just really all depends on what angle you are relative to the trees in the fairway. Zach, yeah, he was trying to play that inside gap through the little scraggly branches. Gets it over a bit, but he is at least going to have a look. I mean, he's up there.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty impressive shot from where he was. And MJ is actually standing in a very similar angle towards the pin. And that looks even better than Zach's.
So that's the line. You throw it through the rough to get to the green.
That is the line right there.
Jeez Louise, that was perfect. That's the closest we've seen, or I've seen all weekend.
Yeah.
Like, hands down.
That was incredibly well played by MJ.
See, now So you found yourself long of the traditional fairway, or the fairway maybe intended, and you're kind of hacking your way through this alternate fairway.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a high route somewhere to get close to the basket. Gregg is doing the same, and he
Higher
does.
route.
Yeah, higher route. Hits a late tree, falls down to about 45 feet.
You're all right.
That's just a putter tomahawk trying to get up and down.
Yep. I mean, like you said, it's kind of exploration time if you get anywhere off the beaten path on this one.
Definitely is. And Gregg.
Big putt. That was like out of the frame, back in.
Yeah.
I always struggle to film his putts. Like, do I go up? It's so high.
I mean,
hilarious.
he sends him to the moon and
I
then
know.
right back to the middle of the basket. It's
love it.
insane. Zach.
He's just got that putt dialed this weekend. The step putt especially.
Yeah, he sure does, man. Every time he steps up to a 40-footer, it is, as Zach's messing with the circle, every time he steps up to a 40-footer, I count it good for Zach.
I totally agree.
He's got those step putts down.
you tapping in your par, and MJ super tapping in. When you can tap in with a driver, that's a good feeling.
Yeah, this hole is such an advantage to have big bomber distance off the tee because the upshot, there's so many trees in the way. So MJ making that look easy was really impressive.
I totally agree. He's not going to be one of those guys that's going to blow you away with the D, but putting himself into those scoring positions and then just hitting that 5-foot gap on either side of the tree, that's how he makes it work out here.
Yeah.
Hole 4, 327-foot par 3. Another one of these new holes out here. Basically, you're just hammering something straight, but with a stable disc that's going to flare off to the left. You counting this one for bird, or is this a tough get for you, or like a bonus get?
I would count it as a bonus get with how many trees there are laid in the fairway.
Absolutely.
Just like Zach. Zach threw a great looking line, and he's at 50 feet.
Yeah, he really just hammered over on that Lucid X Felon. And that does have that stability necessary to get it all the way over to that left.
Yep. Gregg with a really tasty line as well. Very smooth.
That hit nothing. And Gregg Barsby, if you're watching this, he went hard on the fact that hit a stump.
Oh, he did.
He did. He was obsessed. He was looking for indirect evidence, direct evidence. There's none to be had. Oh, MJ. Oh, he got clean, but definitely a little straighter and longer than you want.
Yeah.
But he'll have a putt at, circle's edge maybe?
Yeah. Boom.
I could tell that you were not looking forward to watching that shot, Kevin.
That's a true statement.
He threw it good, though. I mean, you threw it nice, obviously just a little bit left right into the tree.
Yeah, it's an early release. I'm trying to throw a really overstable disc on this hole. Maybe that's not a great idea. Maybe I should look up into like a flippier disc that kind of fits the line better. Zach.
Whatever he's throwing is fine.
Yeah.
You just stick with it. Oh, man. I do, though. Like you said, though. I mean, I'm not sold on like the super stable Firebird play. I do like something with a little bit of glide that's going to hold straight, but it's dealer's choice, you know?
Yeah, very tricky hole. That's why it's really fun. That's a little short.
Almost able to save it, though. That's a tricky line that, granted, though, does probably suit the style of your putt, though. Kind of dump it out to the right. MJ getting it down, floating one in there.
Well done. That was for 2, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after that, I mean, the drive got away from a little bit, but capitalizing greatly.
Mm-hmm. Gregg dropping in a deuce as well.
Got me stuck in the woods over there, Gregg. Thanks for not taking your time. Stick in the basket?
I think I accidentally picked up a stick somehow.
Alrighty, well, 3 birds in the bogue, the unfortunate 2-stroke swing. Alrighty, and we are back. Big shout out to MVP Disc Sports and the Pdga for getting us out here. Gosh, I mean, you can't complain anytime you're at the IDGC. I played 6 rounds in 4 days leading up to the tournament. I feel like I'm going to fall apart physically, but emotionally, I'm in a perfect state.
That's a lot of disc golf, Cory. Let's check out this hole, though. This is a really cool hole, 432 feet, right down the tunnel. If you don't get through at least half the fairway, you're looking at an insta-bogey.
Absolutely. I mean, the second you're kicking left and right, it's just absolute prison. They carved, or I don't even know if they carved it, but the tunnel is so perfect and clean. It just feels like a good hole, but the rough is so rough.
Very mean.
Zach kicking right, Gregg getting a more forgiving kick, but still he's going to be off that right side. MJ with this typical comet play.
Ooh, and that sent hard to the right.
Yeah, that's into that no-no zone. I like this play, though. Nice glidey fairway, just coasting it up to the center. That was prime time.
That's what you want right there.
And that's the way to come back, honestly, from a hole 4. I mean, you see 3 guys just kick trees who just got 2 strokes on you. Bang. Put it on the green. Wait, what?
Are you kidding me?
The wizard himself. Dude, in the middle of the air, I just hear, be a wizard. Or he's a wizard. And then it kicks, bang, bucketed.
Oh, MJ does some magical things.
Gregg getting up and down. Oh gosh, Zach he's lefty tomahawk. Yeah, into the circle.
Very effective
Yeah.
right there.
There was a second there where we might have thought it was too low. That was perfect.
Definitely a split second. It's nice to come out of this hole with a birdie, though.
Yes. I mean, honestly, yes, you wanted the birdie on the last hole, but considering, 6 strokes between the two is not terrible.
Absolutely.
Good save there by Zach. And after some insane kicks and some rough tee shots, we're eyeing 3 pars and a birdie here, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that is a big part of this course, is just getting yourself into hairy situations and being able to get out of it, just like Zach, Gregg, and MJ all did there. All of them scrambling for par. That's really impressive on that hole.
Yeah, scramble rate really does pay dividends out here. You're just not going to avoid those tree kicks. You can try your best, but they will eventually get you, and you have to get out of those situations. Hole 6, 366 foot. The fourth of the new holes in this little run of new holes that we have right here, and the last one for a little while. This one, really, you can throw it down the left gap, down the right gap, whatever you choose. Annie, hyzer, just get it up and clean, and odds are you're going to have a 40-foot putt.
Yeah, looks like I'm opting for the hyzer route here, and that definitely looks wide, and it is.
And that's going to kick you into that inside. Now, granted, it made a little bit of room, and you didn't get caught into the bamboo-style prison in the middle of that thing. Yeah. But it's not ideal.
No, not at all. Zach going with the lefty gap. That's pretty good right there, and that's kind of how the lefty gap shapes. It kind of brings your disc in about 30 feet early, giving you a 30-footer.
Gregg going that same gap, but the flick, which does have a little bit of a different release angle. If he beats that tree, he's cooking. He's in business.
There.
Yeah. James Conrad famously chained out for ace on this hole during a practice round. How that's possible, I still don't know.
Goodness, I'm not sure either.
And MJ right into position. I don't know if there's a ton more he's looking for in this hole.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty effective play right there, getting up to 40 feet and having a chance at a birdie. Time to scramble for me.
Yeah, and solid scrambling job. You had one window, you hit it, throw something over stable, have it dump back in. Gregg with the throwing. Oh. Oh, man.
MJ from about 50. Same tree. They were talking about that tree, and maybe it got in MJ's head.
I don't know. I'll tell you what, though. These guys are an absolute blast to play with. Gosh, having Gregg and MJ and Zach on and you, but it's...
Man, this was one of the most fun cards of the year for me.
I don't know how many cards you played on, but I think you're right on that
Quite a few.
It was a blast.
That's a good putt by Gregg. This hole's so cool because both lines are completely different, but MJ, very surprising there.
And he says, well, that's my weird range today.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
But both lines are very effective, and you can get birdie from both lines. I think that's really cool about a hole.
Yeah. So important, and it's for me, it's like a classic Houck design, right? And I know this hole isn't Houck designed, but it does have that multiple fairway, both completely legitimate options. I love it. After 6, MJ taking that bogey, bringing him back down to even, and he's throwing good shots to be shooting even right now.
Absolutely. Even's not a terrible place to be after 6 holes, but you'd like to have a couple strokes under your belt for sure.
Yeah, leading us into par 4, 744 foot, a hole that I just learned actually was backed up to this long tee a couple years ago. If you have seen that playoff between MJ and Paul McBeth in the Hall of Fame Classic 2015, they were playing from the short pad. So I was trying to wrap my head around how far they got up on those drives. We learned these things. They were not throwing from this tee. This one, though,
that is the mistake you really don't want to make in this hole.
Maybe that tree on the right side, right in front of you, is probably number 1, but that's number 2.
Right.
Really, though, hang it out right and flat and hard and have the natural stability of the disc do this.
Yeah. And Gregg is so close. Oh, man, you really want to land 20 feet to the left of that if you want.
Perfectly said. He threw a great shot, but he is going to be right behind that tree. 20 foot to the left, he'd have a WR Jackson wide open line to the basket.
Correct.
Really? Behind the tree? Really?
Yeah.
MJ going back to the well.
Pretty tasty hyzer flip line right there. That is beautiful. That is the landing zone.
Exactly. Now that's going to be what, like 30, 40 short on a distance perspective from Barsby, but the far better line to be throwing from.
Yeah, the angle is enormously better from where he's laying right there.
Nice little Lucidex felon flick there by Zach. Puts
Yeah.
himself at least in a position.
I was a little pinched off by the tree in front of me, just trying to cover some ground.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not much to do from there. The flick roller just get you close, and then just get up and down for your par.
Now this is a cool shot right here. MJ turns it over just a little too much, though.
Yeah, but yeah, he trying to get that hyzer that kind of flips up but goes down and then have it skip up the hill. It's a fun little angle.
It sure is.
Not quite enough turn out of the hand, I think.
Yeah, Zach and Gregg are looking at pretty similar lines right here. Gregg's going to opt for a sidearm.
Yeah, this is just... He's just world champion it up there.
That is insane.
Sickening.
Yeah. He's throwing an eagle right there, guys, and that's on a flip-up line. That is one of the most difficult things to do in disc golf, in my opinion.
It hammered on the hyzer and trust that it's going to draw back to the left and stick a left-to-right green.
Yeah, like, with the green sloping down to the right. That's incredible. Oh. Couldn't see that tree from where I was.
Yeah, I know. Right? It's like, yeah, you ask, what did it hit? It's like the tree right in front. But from you,
the
you
big
totally
tree
blocked.
right by the basket.
Yeah.
Yep.
MJ kind of had a window for a hero putt, but it would have taken a lot.
Yep.
That is a big-time putt.
Yes.
I mean, you get the unfortunate tree kick. You got, what, 26-footer uphill. You cage that, boom, you're going right back down, and that's a double bogey waiting to happen.
Exactly. It's good to cash in on that par putt and get on to the next hole. Gregg with a incredible birdie. Words can't describe what he just did there, and neither will his score.
Yeah, he's all smiles, though. That might describe what he just did.
Those hyzer flip-up lines on sidearms are so much fun to watch from Gregg.
I totally agree. And I'll be honest with you, I think they're the most fun shots to throw. Like, if I could just throw one shot over and over again, that might be it. Just straight tunnel shot. I love it.
Very satisfying line.
Speaking of satisfying lines, when you throw this turnover shot with probably something slower on this hole, putter, flippy mid, something like that if you're righty, it is so satisfying to watch. Like MJ's Comet just grace down this tunnel to the right.
Yes, slightly more risky line, but it's so satisfying to see that.
If you can execute that shot, you're looking at probably 250 to 300, maybe even 350 if you cut it short through the tunnel, left or right side to approach the pin.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Gregg, that might be coming in a little early.
Yeah, I think the trees tend to be fairly forgiving if it's coming in. If it hits any of them, it usually just dumps it onto the edge of the fringe, the edge of the rough at least.
Yep.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's a really good spot to be on this fairway. This is another par 4 with a tiny landing zone if you want to score.
Yes, I mean, you will absolutely sacrifice distance to be right where you just did. And I like the play, the flick with an overstable putter. Whoa, watch out, Brian.
There's that shot we were talking about.
That one tree just to miss, it would have coasted all the way down there, but that's that Comet just doing work for MJ. I really wish I could throw the lefty backhand here. It seems like it would work out really nicely if you could put it down. That one catching the tree, kicking right.
Slightly early from Zach. Mm-hmm. Now, this early right part of the fairway is not very fun to scramble from.
No. But Gregg does have a pretty good window.
But Gregg's been lacing lines all day, so that's not a problem. He's going to put it up under the basket for what looks like a drop-in birdie from out of position.
Please. Yeah. A birdie on 8 is getting strokes on a significant portion of the field here.
Absolutely.
I like this play with the mid-range out to the right, just drawing it right onto that tree, dude.
Yeah.
It was such a good line, though. It was thrown extremely well. You got Jackson.
Yep, you got to be happy about that. That's all you can do out here is throw down the middle of the fairway and then hit a late tree. It happens.
That is literally all you can do out here. MJ, yeah, I like this from the left side of the fairway. Has enough room to work it to the right, though. Yeah.
Nice.
He's into that. And it looks to me like he's outside that weird range, so I think he's got a good chance on this.
I'm calling that one cash. Zach, I think that's a slammer.
Can I be honest with you?
Uh-huh.
I think it's a harp.
Really? He's flicking the harp now? Cool.
I think because he was flicking the slammer, and he said the harp is just, and this is not to take away from DD, the harp is just a little bit, just fits a little better in his hand for the flicks specifically.
I think it's a little more stable. It might take the torque better. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me? Oh, he loves it.
The masochist at heart. He loves it. Good hit, Kevin, man. That's a clutch comebacker, man. You gave that a good hard run, and you made that come back. That's the difference, honestly. The difference between the high-level open guys and the guys who can throw a good shot but struggle to score consistently, right? You give it that good hard run, and then you're able to hit that comebacker. The only reason you can give it that hard run, though, is because you know you got that 27-footer with a little bit of tree in your way.
Exactly. Takes a little bit of experience to gain that confidence, but that's how you golf, is you give yourself as many chances as possible. So throwing in from distance is huge, but if you can make the comebacker, then you're set.
Yeah, then it really limits all those bogeys that you're taking. Hole 9, the final hole in our front 9 coverage, is an absolute gem, Kevin. I love this hole. Technically, there's 3 fairways off the tee. No one's taking the right side except for like a kick from the trees that puts you onto that right fairway. Ideally, though, you're throwing something stable that has a little bit of meat in its bones, kind of cracking it over on a slight ante and flexing it up the center gap. This is if you're righty backhand.
Yes.
And then having that touch of a hyzer just to finish into a good landing zone, because the approach to this basket, there's maybe one 15-foot tunnel. Other than that, it's just like pick between the trees.
Yep. And that's Gregg going with a fast driver again. He turns it over just a little, but he kicks to the fairway. He might be able to scramble from there.
Yeah, he's at least got good footing. So this is you disking down a bit. I was expecting something a little bit faster from you, but I mean, you throw far, and you don't need that destroyer distance on this one.
Yeah, I could throw a fast driver on this hole, but I'd rather fan grip a fairway and have a little bit more control.
Okay, sure.
MJ filleting this shot. That was, as Gregg Barsby said, filet mignon.
That was perfecto.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Going back to the, I believe, Maverick that we saw him absolutely pure yesterday. He threw the perfect shot down that left fairway, all the way down to the end of the tunnel. It was prime time.
That's got to be gorgeous. Gregg putting it down quick. That thing had a sick angle on it.
I know, and it hit that early root or rock or pine cone or something, and it just never really allowed it to get over.
Yep. This is such a fun hole because you can get slightly out of position and sometimes find a little scramble route to the basket for a birdie. So
I agree. I love the like reaction golf thing where you throw yourself to where you try and hope you're good, and then it's just throw a good shot from there.
Yep.
Oh, out of your hand, you know it.
Yeah, not quite turned enough. Really have to turn it over and smash it into that gap. MJ. Now this is where his drive landed.
All right. MJ's putting that one in.
Yeah, that's
great.
going to be a birdie.
Man, I just don't have that command with the putter. I mean, obviously, no one arguably has the command with a putter that he does, but gosh, it's just so impressive to watch him just grace lines. You know, it feels like an extension of his hand. It really does.
It does. Zach, that was kind of a step putt, more of a lunge putt.
I was gonna say, yeah, full leaner. Gregg with the kind of a slightly tester come. Woo!
All day.
Good result, Gregg.
Thank you.
I like that, putting with his understamped world champ disc.
Yeah.
That's got to be a good feeling when you can link, like, just, flip it and it's like, hey, that's my name and it says world champ right there on my disc. Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll raise your putting stats.
I think so.
Percentage points. And that's a good comeback putt by Zach, like you were talking about on the last hole. Those are crucial putts.
There you go. MJ back on the train after the few missed putts. You need one of those. The 11-footer that there's no chance you're going to miss, just to see it hit the chains, fall in. It's like, all right, I can do this.
Yeah.
MJ, though, moving to 1 down through the first 9 holes, he has thrown so many better shots than that. Gregg Barsby, 5 down through the front 9. He's at 11 overall, and he's putting a move on this lead.
Yeah, that's a great front 9. Anything past 4 down is a very solid front nine.
It's absolutely cooking. The back nine, too, is scoreable. We saw a lot of those guys on the top card coming in and birding those last few, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
So if he can maybe take this score, run on, capitalize with it, he could be in position.
He could have a hot round coming.
Alrighty, so that is about all we have for part 1 of round 2, and we will be back with part 2 shortly.